morning, and welcome to the Amazing Race. The first leg of the race is just about to start. Welcome to New York. After the contestants have arrived in Times Square, they will grab their bags and their fanny packs. After the introductions of the game, they will be given their first task. Their first task is to run to the Museum of Modern Art, or the MoMA. This will take about 11 minutes. When they get to the museum, they will be asked to memorize the name of 10 works of art, the year they were produced, and they all must be by Pablo Picasso. When the director waiting outside of the museum says you are correct with all your naming, you can move on to the next round. A few rules that go with this challenge are that you and your partner may split up the memorizing, but you're not allowed to write anything down at any point. If you or your partner mess up at any time, you must start repeating them all over again. You've made it to Challenge 2. Walk to the Empire State Building, which will take you about 20 minutes. Climb to the top of the previously named tallest building in the world, which has 102 stories. When you get to the top of that building, you're going to look down and find your marked car. When you get back down to your marked car, there'll be a clue card that leads you to your next destination. The clue card will tell you to drive yourself to JFK Airport, which will take about 48 minutes. In the airport, there will be a man waiting for you to complete his challenge. In the challenge, you must run to baggage claim, and there will be suitcases rotating around the belt. You must find the bag that has the clue card in it, and you will have plane tickets to travel to the next destination. The rules that come with this challenge are: competitors must abide by all regulations of the airport. No competitors should leave any suitcases open on the belt. And even if the suitcase has a clue card in it, you want to zipper it shut and put it back on the belt to make it more difficult for your competitors. Hurry quick, and after you've found those tickets, board your plane. You will be leaving from JFK and landing in La Aurora International Airport, about a 7-hour flight. Welcome to Guatemala. Once you leave the terminal, there will be marked cars waiting for you with clues inside. The first clue is to drive yourself to the Chichicastenango Market. This is a market that's been there for hundreds, if not thousands of years. They are open on Sundays and Thursdays, and the streets are lined with stalls and packed with buyers because the choices are so overwhelming. The distance between the airport and the market is about 2 hours and 20 minutes. The first challenge will start in the market. The teams must find their designated stand and sell 15 items from the stand. After you sell 15 items and the stand clerk says you did well, he will give you a token. This token can be redeemed at the stand nearby. You must find it. At the stand, you will be asked to come up with your traditional Guatemalan outfit. When the stand clerk gives you the okay and thinks your outfit is great, he will give you the name of the market that you will need to find next. At this market stand, you will be taught a dance and asked to participate in the market's daily entertainment. When the owner of the stand thinks you have completed the task well, he will send you to the final stop at Lake Atilan, where someone will be eliminated. The distance between the market and the lake is about 1 hour and 3 minutes. All teams that make it through to the next round will get a day's rest to enjoy the rest of the country. They will be left with the next clue and have to lead back to the airport, where they will fly to the next destination. Only 2 rules for this challenge. You and your partner are not allowed to buy the merchandise to get yourself ahead, and both teammates must participate in each challenge.
Our next stop is the Westminster Abbey in London. After exiting the airport, find the driver with yours and your partner's name on a sign. They will be dressed in all black with a white shirt and black sunglasses on. They will hand you the keys to a Rolls Royce. It will take you approximately 30 minutes to get from the London City Airport to Westminster Abbey. Follow the signs to the Westminster Abbey. The Westminster Abbey, formerly titled the Collegiate Church of St. Peter at Westminster, is a large, mainly Gothic church in the city of Westminster, London. Many famous English people were buried here, such as Charles Darwin and Isaac Newton. It was constructed by several men, including Christopher Wren and Henry Yaville, who used the style of Gothic architecture, which was popular at the time. Gothic architecture included the pointed arch and ribbed vault, which was common during the Renaissance. Upon arrival, you will be greeted by a Queen's Guard that will tell you what nursery rhyme that is assigned to your group. It will either be Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, Row, Row Your Boat, or 3 blind mice. Follow directions to the bell tower. The doors will be locked by the Queen's Guard after you enter, and you and your partner must figure out how to chime the assigned nursery rhyme with the bells. Once the guard re-enters the room, you have successfully completed the challenge. The rules are you and your partner must ring the bells, one person cannot do it alone, and you must only ring the nursery rhyme given to you. Travel by plane to Cairo, Egypt. When you arrive, find the man wearing a white long shirt and white trousers. He will have a white tarbouch on his head. He will take you outside where there will be a Ford Fiesta waiting for you and your partner. Follow the man in his red Fiesta to Giza Necropolis. It will take you approximately 58 minutes to travel by car from Cairo International to Giza Necropolis. Once you reach the pyramids, he will direct you to the entrance and give you traditional Egyptian clothes to wear, and then he will leave. Your job is to find your way through the pyramids. The pyramids are located about 5 miles into the desert in the town of Giza, which is located on the Nile River. The pyramids are one of the 7 wonders of the world and are still in existence today. The Sphinx of Giza is on the east side of the pyramids and represents Pharaoh Khafra. When you see your tour guide at the end of the pyramid tunnel, he will have a bus waiting for you to take you to the Falafel Degla restaurant. The restaurant is about 33 minutes away from the pyramids. Rules. You must only work with your partner. You cannot exit the way you enter, and your only source of light is the torch you find on the wall. Once you arrive at the restaurant, you'll see a woman dressed in a long black shirt, trousers, and meylala left. They are traditional clothes of Egyptian women. She will each hand you a black blindfold. Dishes will be served to you, and you must guess what each is without looking at the food. The first is falafel, a deep-fried ball or patty made from ground chickpeas, fava beans, or both. Next is tahini, a paste made from ground whole sesame seeds used in North African, Greek, Iranian, Turkish, and Middle Eastern cuisine, usually served with a pita. Last is dessert, which is a rich, sweet pastry made of layers of phyllo filled with chopped nuts and sweetened and held together with syrup or honey called baklava. Each contestant will get the same dishes. For every dish you guess right, 3 points will be awarded to your team. Whoever ends up with the most points wins. The rules are that you must remain in the traditional clothes and that you cannot look at the food or ask your partner questions during the tasting.
Fly into the Kabul airport. Once there, take the marked car to the city market, which is 5.2 kilometers away. At the entrance to the market, take a clue. It will read, "A rug making is a staple to the Afghani people. Throughout many markets in the country, there are over millions of different patterns. Teams will make their way through the market, trying to find a rug pattern that matches the one pictured below. Once found, the vendor will hand them their next clue. Take your marked car back to the Kabul airport and get on a flight to Nepal."
Now we are going to travel to Nepal. First, travel by plane from Afghanistan to Tribhuvan International Airport. Upon arrival, find the woman in the bright red clothing. She will give you a detailed map and a Ford Focus to make your way to Kathmandu City. Get to the Kumar Gar in Kathmandu City. Challenge. Kumari, or living goddess. Nepal is the tradition of worshipping young girls as manifestations of the divine female energy, or Devi, in Hindu religious traditions. The selection process is difficult because there are certain requirements a girl must have before even being thought of getting picked. Find Nepal natives or any information to figure out what kinds of criteria must be met to meet and be in the running for Kumari. Choose the one girl who is in the line of 8 that meets the criteria. If chosen right, you will receive your next destination. Rules. Only use the map when navigating. Must find the criteria and choose the right girl. If chosen wrong, there will be a 5-minute penalty until choosing again. Drive from Kathmandu City to Pua Lake. Pua Lake is an iconic, must-visit place in Nepal. It is a freshwater lake that lies at 732 meters above sea level. Pua Lake is the largest and most beautiful of the 3 lakes, attracting a large number of visitors who enjoy boating on its placid waters. Boats can be hired, and many visit the island temple of Barahi in the middle of the lake. Once you get there, find the man wearing a black top hat who will give you your next clue. First, put on the provided scuba gear. Then, take the marked boat to the side of the lake with the green buoy. You must dive down in the lake to find your next clue, which will be hanging from a chain on the bottom of the lake. Once you receive the clue, make your way to the middle of the lake on the island temple of Barahi. You must use the camera to capture the iconic scenery around Pua Lake and use them to receive your next clue. Take the pictures back to the man wearing all white and show him the pictures. If he says you have captured the landscape in full, you will finish the Nepal challenge. Last team to make it will be eliminated. Rules: you must only work with your partner. You must only use the map to navigate to Pua Lake and no other navigational systems. We move on to our second to last stop, which is in Australia. We're going to fly from Nepal to Sydney, Australia into Kingsford Smith Airport. You're going to find the marked bikes outside the airport and use them to ride to the Opera House in Sydney, Australia. Once you arrive at the Opera House, go into the Grand Theatre to receive your next clue. The couples will be required to send one from the pairing to learn how to sing the opera and perform in front of a crowd of people. The crowd, as well as the judges, will decide if you move on to receive your next clue and move to your next destination. Once completed, you must bike back to the airport to move on with the journey. Rules: you must only work with your partner. You must only ride bikes to the Opera House. Only one partner from the pairing can sing.
The last stop of this trip is to California. Fly into LAX, then head to parking lot 3 to find a marked car and a clue box. Take the clue. It will read, "Take the marked car to the land of the rose where New Year's Day gets very flowery and find your next clue." The answer to that is Pasadena, California, which is 45 kilometers away. Then you'll find another clue outside the Rose Bowl. The Rose Bowl parade is considered to be America's New Year celebration. Millions of roses are used to decorate beautiful floats. This was one of the few events that had taken place during the World Wars. Here, pairs will make their mark on the parade by decorating their own float. Once done, it will have to be inspected by the Grand Marshal to see if it is good enough. If so, they will be given their next clue. As you complete your float, you will receive a clue. At the end of America's most famous road, the ocean meets the sand and people's feet meet the boardwalk. This is a clue for them to go to Santa Monica Pier. Here the pairs will have to take a brief surfing lesson and then successfully surf on 3 waves before they can advance. Once the surfing challenge is completed, the pairs will receive their next clue, which tells them to run along the beach to the finish line. This is the last clue. If you are first, you can win $1 million.